Good evening and welcome to the Undercovers football podcast. We have reached like the apex of, I guess, the early year of sports before, um, football picks up. But we are, I believe, 9 days away from the NFL draft. We got NBA playoffs heating up, NHL season ends soon, and MLB is going on. So I mean, it's a wild time for sports, and still the NFL is by far the most popular among them, even with no games and just the draft. So tonight we're going to continue our pre-draft coverage. We have a very fun show ahead of you. We will be doing a full 3-round mock draft.
I was about to say, did your words leave
No,
there, Ben?
sorry, I had to text someone. No, but we have a full 3-round mock draft ahead, and how it will be working is we'll just be basically alternating picks, so we don't have any teams assigned. So some of us are probably going to pick once for one team, and then once for another team. So it'll be interesting, but we're just kind of going to go around and just kind of put some names down. We don't have trades turned on just because for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to do it with no trades. And interestingly enough, every NFL team still owns their first round pick, which I don't know the last time this late until a draft that every team still had their pick in place. Now we know there will definitely be trades on draft night. I mean, there always are, but for now, everything is still in place. Hopefully a trade doesn't break during the show. That would be something. But
yeah, Jalen Ramsey gets traded during the show tonight, and then we have to completely
and if he goes for a first round pick though, I'll eat this hat live on show.
Well, I mean, Chris Greer did say it wasn't for Jalen Ramsey, but it was for
Tyreek
Hill. Multiple first round picks.
Yeah, imagine he tries to trade both of them for 2 firsts. That would be something. I mean, it wouldn't happen.
Hilarious.
But yeah, let's get into it. Paul, are you able to pull up our PFF mock simulator? Perfect.
There it is.
It's gonna be good.
So got all teams selected 3 rounds. So we can just go ahead and fire this baby up, and we'll get into the nitty gritty of this. So I kind of did this. I only randomized it once, but I put all the names into a randomizer, and I put my name last just so, I felt it was fair. So I ended up picking 1. Connor got number 2, and Paul gets 3. So just kind of how the draft order, we're just going to keep repeating that order. I'll go, Connor will make a pick, and Paul will make his pick. So we got 3 rounds. And, obviously we're going to have some discussions and talking points or whatnot. So, we just planned the full mock draft for the show. So we don't have any quick takes or anything tonight, but I mean, we'll definitely have some stuff to talk about. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, even the last week, we had a lot of interesting nuggets leading up to the draft, as far as obviously you have the visits and everything, but Derek Carr may not be available for the season. So do the Saints take a quarterback? Well, I guess we'll find out in our mock draft tonight. So number 1, which I feel this one, if you had to make a single lock out of any pick this draft, and I guess it still isn't a lock compared to years past, but I still feel pretty safe, gun to my head, the first overall pick this year for the Tennessee Titans, who I will be drafting for. Hold on. Let me go ahead and do something.
Before he makes a random trade when we already said no trades.
Yeah, right. We're gonna
before he's ready. He's ready to trade back to pick 7. He's like, well, whoops, I can't do that.
If the Titans actually traded out of pick 1, I would think somebody would be getting fired on the spot. Like, is Nico Harrison in charge now?
Can you hear that? Oh wait, hold on.
I did. What was that? The Oh, you're trying to. Oh, all right.
Oh, you're trying to
do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I figure we'll make this as realistic as possible. So, for the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, I believe the Tennessee Titans will be taking Cam Ward from the University of Miami. Should have been Florida State. I don't know how we were stuck with DJ. But alas, let's not dwell upon a very forgettable and miserable year of college football. So let's lock that in right there. Cam Ward to the Giants, or to the, I'm looking at the Giants for some reason, to the Titans. All right. So now,
oh man. So
Cleveland is on the clock, and Connor will be making the selection for Cleveland now.
Why would you make me do this? I'm going to wind up making the sensible option choice. That's not Cleveland. I don't know why I don't know why it fell to me to be Cleveland.
All right, I'll have the sound ready when you're ready to make your pick.
I already know, so go ahead and hit me with the draft music. All right, with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Abdul Carter, edge, Penn State. You know they're going to probably wind up going quarterback or Travis Hunter with that pick.
Yeah, it is interesting.
The smartest thing they could do would be to draft Abdul Carter.
Well, that's what a lot of people thought originally, but a lot of the recent smoke has actually been around Travis Hunter to Cleveland. So it's going to be interesting to see what they end up doing. But I mean, that is, he's arguably the best player in the draft. That's definitely not a bad pick.
Yeah,
so
no, I agree too.
Let's go ahead and lock that in. And
that's the smartest
Paul
thing.
Paul is on the clock for the New York Giants.
There's literally only one option.
I mean,
for the Giants. Literally,
I mean, they have Russell Wilson right now, so I don't think they need a quarterback this draft.
They have Jameis Winston. How dare you disrespect Jameis Winston?
But I think they'll take one next year with a better draft class. But I think the obvious pick here.
Tank for Arch Manning.
With the third pick, the New York Giants will go Travis Hunter, Colorado.
That is definitely
would be a solid get.
Pick for them, I believe.
And at that point,
I think it's almost looking like, though, however it works out, the first three picks are all but cemented, in my opinion. I know the Giants did some work on Sanders recently.
Literally today.
But I think it's going to go Ward 1 and then either Carter, Hunter 2-3, or vice versa. Hunter, Carter 2-3. So then it gets kind of interesting because New England, I feel like, could go a multiple different ways. They definitely need receiver, even after adding Stephon Diggs. But
they could trade down out of this pick.
They could, and honestly, I could see them trading down. But they also need O-line, and
big time.
I like Will Campbell. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's another tackle that's a safer pick, especially considering Will Campbell kind of has T-Rex arms. I just don't see him being a top 4 draft pick with those arms. So with the 4th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots are taking Armand Membu from University of Missouri. And now I get it. You think it's a reach to take a right tackle, pick 4. But if you remember, the Philadelphia Eagles used a 4th overall pick on Lane Johnson. And how did that work out for him?
2 Lane Johnson's one of the
and a future gold jacket. Look at what the Chargers did last year with Joe Alt. He wasn't, they already had a franchise left tackle, but they got a franchise bookend. I mean, obviously New England may still need a left tackle. I mean, maybe they even shift Membu over. Maybe they decide to move him to left, but I believe that's the best pick for the Patriots here. Protect your franchise quarterback, as we know in Buffalo. It's always nice to have the shiny toys, but look at Miami, for example. You win
Get rid of their shiny toys.
You win championships based on the foundation of your O-line. You got to keep your quarterback upright.
Remember, children, defense wins championships. Your O-line is your second most important. Your O-line, though, is your second most important position group in all of football.
And as Jim Harbaugh even stated, O-line is a weapon. Yes, they don't catch passes or run with the ball, but they can keep your quarterback upright, allowing him to find open receivers and extend times, keep him healthy, most importantly, and they can create running lanes. And if you get a guy like Membu, who's a road grader, their running game is definitely going to improve.
For sure.
So
absolutely.
Now, of course, Connor ended up with Jacksonville. This could not have been any more scripted because we know he's like the resident Jag on the show, closet Jags fan, maybe more than a closet Jags fan.
No.
But Let's
I
hear
mean,
who Connor's going for his Florida team.
all right. Well, I do love the Jags. They are the most local to me. I would support them, but I wouldn't root for them over anyone else. So, with that in mind, I do have a little bit more of what you could consider insider knowledge into the pick. So, their top choice is gone. Thank you, Paul. If Travis Hunter falls to 5, he's not falling any further than that.
Mhm.
But they do have kind of another guy that they're looking at. They have two that the brass is kind of interested in, but out of all of them that we currently have here, I already have an idea of who they're going to take. So go ahead, play the music for me, Ben. All right. So with the fifth pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Mason Graham, the interior defensive line out of Michigan. They've got their eye on this guy, and if Travis Hunter isn't there, they're going to probably wind up going either Mason Graham or they're going to take Will Campbell out of LSU. I don't really think they need receiver, but I don't think they're
Mhm.
going to address it immediately with a guy like McMillan, but they definitely want Hunter. Like that's the target that everybody's screaming about in Jacksonville is Travis Hunter. They want him so bad. And I don't think they're going to trade up a couple of spots to do it, but I think that they're definitely going to make sure that if he is there, he's gone. But if he's not there, it'll probably be a guy like Mason Graham.
And I think that's a smart selection because, as you
Hmm.
mentioned, defense wins championships. The Jags had one of the worst, if not the worst, defense in all of football
Hmm.
last year. And yes, their secondary still has questions, but if you have a defensive line that consists of
Hmm.
Graham,
They'll
um,
address that much later, I could promise you.
Josh Hines Allen. Remember, it's no longer
Yes.
Allen; it's Joshua Hines Allen. And then, of course, Trevon Walker. And if he still has anything left in the tank, I believe Arik Armstead is still under contract. So I mean, that's a pretty nasty front four, and that will kind of mask some of the deficiencies on
Hmm.
the defensive secondary side of the ball. So I mean, I think that's a smart pick, which leads to Paul, who is picking for the Raiders. And I think this is also
Ooh,
an
this is a
interesting
good
pick
one. They could
because,
do so many things
yes,
here.
they could go in a couple different directions.
Hmm.
Yeah, they can go. They can go. They can go. Their biggest need right now is running back, so they could go. Aston Gentry, but I mean, Ted McMillan is one of the better wide receivers in this draft class. I mean, you can even go down just a little bit. You maybe Walter Nolan's there. I mean,
Mm.
Jade Barron is one of the better cornerbacks in the draft. So the Raiders have a lot of different things they can really just dip into at pick 6. But
Pick six, nice.
so I mean, this is the toughest part because there's so
I
many
feel
good players. You're like, which one do you
Hmm.
I
have
feel
to
like this is
take?
almost too obvious, though, and I'm going to be interested to see who you end up taking.
Same, because I feel like you, Ben, this is also very obvious, but I think you and I might have a different definition of obvious.
All right, well, are you ready, Paul? We can play the music.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Oh yeah.
All right, with the 6th pick of the NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Tet McMillan out of
Oh,
Arizona.
Oh,
you went Ted McMillan. Oh, okay.
I honestly would have thought you would have taken Ashton Jeanty. Like,
Same.
I think that's like almost like a chalk pick. But I
It,
mean,
yeah.
I do get the argument of them needing another receiver. So I mean, it will be interesting.
Hmm.
Um, but I still want to. I'm so curious to see how early McMillan goes when you consider
Same.
he didn't really perform a lot at the combine.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, it's going to be interesting because I mean, they may also want to. I mean, they may not have an opportunity to take a quarterback anytime soon with
Hmm.
Gino under contract for 3 years. He'll probably win too many games to be picking the top 10. So, do they maybe
Possibly.
even go Shador? But
Hmm.
of course, I got stuck with both AFC East rivals of the Bills. So this one, I feel like it's also just kind of from what I heard, following a decent amount of Jets accounts and what a
Ew,
lot
why
of this.
would you do that?
Well, I have some mutuals who are Jets fans. Some of them are
Okay,
cool, but
granted.
yeah, just kind of from what I've heard and read, this pick should be pretty easy too. So with the 7th pick in the 2026 26 or 25 NFL draft. Sorry, I left the year forward. We could do that one next week. No, just kidding. But the New York Jets are selecting Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. And yes,
Oh,
it may seem a little early, especially when you consider
no, not really.
Brock Bowers didn't go until pick 13 last year, whatever it was, 14 maybe. But this is also an overall weaker draft class. And the Jets' current tight end options are Zach Kuntz and Jeremy Ruckert. So when you just hear those names, you go, who? Who? And I feel like for the offense, they'll probably like to run, especially when you consider, if I'm not mistaken, the Jets' current offensive coordinator was most recently the Lions, I believe, tight ends coach. So he kind of saw up close in Detroit what having an elite tight end player at the position could do for an offense. And I think just how the offense they'd like to run, when you consider how versatile a player Warren is, I think this is the pick here, and they could use them in a lot of different ways, end arounds. Heck, Penn State even used them in the Wildcats. So if they want to give them some trick plays, have at it. But we now move to the Saints, which is also.
You mean the Panthers?
Oh, I completely missed the Panthers.
You know what? That's easy to do.
Connor is the Panthers. So let's just get this one
God
going.
bless.
I mean, I feel like the top 10 are going to be, we'll probably spend more time explaining it. And then as we get on, we may want to speed it up so we don't have a full 3-hour show. But even though that would be fun, but let's go.
I may shock you here.
To pick 8, the Carolina Panthers take.
I don't know. I might wind up shocking you here with this one because they have a very desperate need at wide receiver. They have got to absolutely help Bryce Young at all costs.
I would have thought this would probably be the place for McMillan if he was.
Yeah, if he was here, I would have taken him right off. But the fact is he's gone. I feel like the Panthers absolutely need to address every skill position in the draft to help Bryce Young as much as possible. I feel like the obvious choice here is going to be a little obvious, but I actually am going to pivot ever so slightly, and I'm going to say that the Panthers help Bryce Young in a way that might be not so picturesque, if you know what I mean. Maybe not so, you know what I mean? Like it's not very flashy, but I'm going to say just wildly out of the blue that they're going to take Will Campbell right here to beef up their offensive line.
Yes, I could definitely see that. He just seems like a Panthers pick.
To be fair, I don't really believe. I mean, it could have easily has been Ginty here, but I just don't really think that the Panthers would want.
Didn't they sign a running back?
That too, but mostly I just think that they need offensive line and receiver help more than that. So,
I mean, I guess it was Rico Dowdle to be fair, but yeah, I mean,
hey, don't diss my fantasy legend Rico Dowdle.
I mean,
me win
but
games,
if you add a I'm not really familiar with Moton, but I know Ike Ekwonu was at one point a top pick. They are paying a lot to Robert Hunt, so you either put Campbell, Paul Lock in the pick. It was Will Campbell.
It was okay, cool.
Yep. So you could either slide Campbell to the right side to be the right tackle, or you put him inside, and he's projected to be a great guard. And for a guy who's shorter like Bryce Young, it's smart to have an elite interior because it's keeping, the hands down of the opposing defensive linemen. So to prevent block balls, to give them better pass windows, to allow them to move around in the pocket, to be able to actually see. So I feel like if you give them a Robert Hunt and Will Campbell guard duo, that could be cooking. And I agree. Old linemen are weapons. So I really do like that pick. That's who I would have taken too. So now it leads us to the Saints, which could go in a couple different directions. I mean, I kind of have an idea of who I would take, but I'm interested in hearing Paul. So let's get down to the 9th overall pick.
This is going to be good.
The 9th overall pick, I think the Saints have their biggest need, and their biggest need is running back, and he's still on the board. They're going to take Ashton Genty right here.
Oh,
really? So I would think that they would go with a quarterback at that point.
I would have too,
especially considering Derek Carr is out for the year, and I mean, they still have Alvin Kamara. They're paying all that money to. So
Nope, wait.
now,
Wait, Ben, I see the vision. This is what they're now. They're just going to use Kamara and Ginty together. They're going to beef up the
so
O line, and they're
I
not even
was
going to worry about
definitely
who's the quarterback.
I was chalking in Gene to Chicago, but now that Chicago's gone, or
You mean
now that GT's gone, sorry, Chicago's pick becomes a little more interesting.
does?
Scroll down a little bit, Paul. I just want to see the other available options a little bit more.
You've got a good few.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going off of the current board. Yes, I believe a defensive lineman would be nice for them, but I also think it is a little early to be taking Walter Nolan and Kenneth Grant, and it might be early based on the draft board, but I'm gonna. I guess you know what. This might feel like it's coming out of left field, and it is early. But you know how a Ben Johnson likes to run his offense, and the Bears have been very interested in this player. I mean, maybe they'll do a trade down anyway, so they could still get him. But with the 10th pick, in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears are taking Omarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina, and I think everyone. As soon as Gibbs was taken, wherever he was, 9th overall, something like that, everyone thought that was way too early, and that ended up working out. So the Bears get their running back here, and now Connor is on to San Francisco.
All right, I'm going to purposefully ruin this. I'm just kidding. Well, they've got a lot of very interesting needs as well. As a matter of fact, actually, you know what? I already know. Go ahead and play the music, Ben. All right, so with the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Jahdae Barron, cornerback out of Texas. He's fallen this far. The San Francisco 49ers desperately need the help at cornerback.
Especially after losing
he's
Ward.
He's
so
taking him.
It makes sense.
They've lost so many more people than just him, but yes, absolutely.
But I mean, as far as at the corner position, now
cornerback
Dallas is kind of screwed because
and I did it because they're always out to screw over the Cowboys.
Well, I was more so talking as far as running backs because they're a team that's been.
Oh yes.
I mean, their top 2 running back options now, if I'm not mistaken, Dowdle walked. They signed Javonte Williams. There was another really mid running back they signed too. It wasn't Najee Harris. I forgot who. They got like 2. Like the name slipped me. But Paul, let's hear your pick.
Don't they? Well, I'll let Paul pick first before I say what I was about to say.
The Dallas Cowboys select Mike Green, edge Marshall.
Oh, okay. That's actually a really solid idea there. They could definitely use it, especially if Micah Parsons happens to get fed up with the organization and demands out. But
yeah. So let's go to my pick, and I still got stuck with all of the AFC East teams. What is this?
All right. Well, all right. Well, ruin it. Draft Jalen Milroe right here. Do it.
That would be awesome.
Do it. You won't.
Now, especially after the news that came out today, you already had their best offensive lineman retire, and you would think that should be the pick considering the Dolphins have had O-line troubles recently, but Chris Grier has never done what made sense for this organization. And if they do end up trading Ramsey, they're going to have a gaping hole at corner. And I still think Will Johnson at the end of the day is the best pure corner in the draft, even better than Hunter and Barron. I think it's just been injuries that have really derailed his stock. But if the medicals are good, he's the best corner in the draft. And I hate giving Miami this type of talent, but with the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Will Johnson out of the University of Michigan.
That would be cooking. Like, I would hate to see that. Like, genuinely, I'd hate to see that. But it is the Dolphins. They will most likely not do this. So
they'll probably take Jalen Milroe. Let's
now feel good.
That.
Oh man, I would cry in happiness. Thank you for doing that and being stupid, so that way the Yinzers don't get any dumb ideas. All right, is it my turn? It's my turn, isn't it? All right. Why am I always the Colts in every single one of these? I'm always the Colts. Why? Why do I have to do this?
Do you
Okay.
have any affinity to horses, Connor?
Well, technically yes, but
I mean, they do have 4 legs like gators, but they're not that similar to gators. They need to create a gator football team. We got to
yeah,
start that petition.
yeah, for real. All right, let's see who's on the board right here. Okay. The Colts need a lot of help, like a lot of help at a lot of places.
Mhm.
But I think for now, I have who I'm going to take. So play the music,
Okay.
Ben. All right. So with the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select, and to break the hearts of Bills fans everywhere, Jihad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama. Sean McDermott's guy, based off name alone, will not be going to Buffalo. He will be going to Indianapolis. But to be fair, if the Bills were to draft Jihad Campbell at 30, I'd be a little irritated. That would be a bad pick. But that's what
It
I.
makes sense for the Colts. I mean, he has pass rush ability.
Mhm.
They just lost, I believe, EJ Speed to Houston.
They did.
It wasn't a huge loss, but he did have a lot of tackling production.
Mhm.
So it would be a good pick for the Colts. Now we move on to Atlanta, which I have a feeling Paul's gonna pull another random player that we're like, okay, I didn't think about that, but Paul always has
I have 2 players in mind.
always has his reasoning for stuff. So let's hear Paul's pick.
Ah, I really don't know because my brain, if you know me, my brain runs to the offense. And I'm staring at Luther Burden right now. It's like it's so easy to pick Luther Burden right
Oh,
here.
come
Oh
on.
But
my
they
If you
God.
also
all right, let me just
If
say
you
this. If
if
you
you do
watched
it.
the Falcons last year and your biggest takeaway was they need receiver help, I don't know what team you were watching because that defense, like they had one of the worst defensive lines in football.
Mhm.
Like,
They had one?
and that's why I'm not doing Luther Burden.
okay, I was gonna say
Thank God. They
That's
have
why
Drake
I'm
London. They don't
taking
need anybody
Devon
else.
Ezerike out of Boston College, guys. Like
Hey,
that was my
okay.
entire plan the entire time.
okay, I like it. They need it. They need pass rush help, so that definitely is smart. Which leads me to Arizona, and I feel like this one is also interesting.
A team
Scroll
that's
down
in
a little
need of
bit.
a lot of help at a couple of very key positions on the offensive line.
Oh,
All right, who's playing insurance music? Cut that out.
I ended up clicking off
Who's
of my
Oh
music.
my God. Who's got an
So,
ad playing for
all
Ben?
right,
We
all right,
aren't
hold on.
sponsored.
Not yet, that is, but definitely not by insurance unless it's
Right.
William Matar. We'll
Yes.
take
That would be
sponsorship,
very
William.
acceptable.
So just checking the Cardinals depth chart. I mean, I guess I forgot they brought back Calais Campbell, even though he's getting up there in age. Dalvin Tomlinson. They did just sign Josh Sweat, so I don't know if they desperately need pass rush help, especially considering they also drafted Darius Robinson in the first round. I don't really see any corners I like here, though. I mean, guards, scroll down a little bit. I mean, I guess you could take Gray Zabel or the guy from Bama is yeah, I think I have an idea of who I would take here. So let me get the right music. With the 16th pick in the NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals take Walter Nolan from Ole Miss.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
Very
I
good
mean,
pick for them.
you can't rely on um Calais Campbell being an every down player, and he may only have one more year left anyways. But if you have Walter Nolan, Darius Robinson, and Josh Sweat as a core for the next 3 or 4 years, like that's a pretty dang good unit.
Real.
So now Connor, of course, got the Bengals, which is kind of hilarious, but I'm interested to see what he does here.
In before I completely just ruin this out of pure spite. Okay. So the Bengals need O-line help tremendously bad. They think that only working on offense is their key to a Super Bowl when that will never work because they'll just have TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, and Mekhi Becton in their back line 2 times out of the year because they have no idea what an offensive line even is. So, with that, if you don't mind scrolling down a little bit, Paul, I
Yeah.
believe the guy I'm looking at, yeah, he is not there yet. Hold on, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You also ask
Yeah,
them to sort by position if you need to find someone.
yeah, no, I think I have an idea of what the Bengals are gonna do here. This seems just like a very Bengals pick to me. So play the music, Ben, if you don't mind. All right, with the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Javon Walker, linebacker out of Georgia. Because why would
Okay.
they not select the guy out of the school with all the speeding violations? Why would they not select the guy to get arrested on the
I mean,
spot
they
when he
did
gets
take
there?
a player from Georgia last year, Marius Mims. So I mean,
That's what I'm talking
they
about.
have a
They want the
history
guys
at
to
the
get
university.
arrested. That's Cincinnati for you.
So now Paul's up and has Seattle, which we
Mm-hmm.
know he'll probably take Luther Burden just because he can't resist taking Luther Burden.
And he has no idea if Caden's watching or not and is ready to just get absolutely roasted by Caden if he doesn't take Luther Burden.
They don't need a wide receiver. They need big men to protect Sam Darnold and whoever other quarterback they're going to need because they decided to completely forget about that during the draft. So the two guys I'm looking at is Josh Simmons out of Ohio State or Kelvin Banks out of Texas.
Well,
I honestly,
go ahead and make your pick.
with the 18th pick of the NFL draft, the Seattle Seahawks will go Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State.
Okay.
Oh, good one.
So
Very, very good.
get some O-line help to help Darnold.
Yeah, good.
Now we're on
Good pick.
to Tampa Bay. Yes, I like how this worked out. Actually, I get to pick the Bucks.
All right.
Connor does not get the Steelers, and
I hate that
so
because I know Paul's going to do something that makes me want to throw a shoe at him.
Tampa Bay. It could be interesting too. I don't think there's any corners here that would warrant the pick. Scroll down a
No.
little bit.
No. If you want more of the local knowledge, I can give you that too for them.
Yeah, I'm just going off of what they need in the board. So this may not be what you've heard, but with the 19th pick, the Tampa Bay Bucks select James Pierce Jr. They need pass rush help.
Actually, I have heard his name a lot in their circles.
Yeah, I mean they need pass rush help. You
I
know,
wouldn't be
Jaden
surprised.
Daniels could basically make a sandwich back there in the pocket in that wild card game last year. So, you know, the offense wasn't the issue. They actually had one of the most prolific offenses in the NFL.
Baker's
I mean,
a goat.
they've had a lot of turnover on the line, but they've actually kind of solidified that, especially last year, finding their center of the future from Duke. I forget his name.
I can't think of it right now either.
Yeah, anyways, and obviously they got the guy from I remember the guy they took out of North Dakota State with the missing teeth. Like he's good too. Like they actually have pieces on the O-line, needless to say, even though if I can't remember any of the O-line's names, obviously besides Tristan Wirfs, but the offense isn't the problem. I mean, it could be interesting. Maybe do they take another tight end to put behind Otten? But I feel like Otten was productive enough where tight end may be not an area of need, and they just need help on defense. So get them some defensive help. And now Connor has a privilege of being the Denver Broncos. So I'm interested to hearing who the Broncos end up
Good
picking.
Lord. Oh, the Denver, as they call them within the division, of course, the Denver Donkeys. But they have a lot of options here. And this is the pick that on draft night, I'm going to be holding my breath to see what they do because they have a very, very easy option. But they have another one that I think they actually should go with. And this isn't saying anything for any other purpose, but I think that they have a few other needs that aren't really talked about outside of edge because they really do need that pass rush help. but I also think they should be looking to help Bo Nix out just a
Denver,
little bit
Denver
more.
actually had the most sacks in the NFL last year. They have 2 good pass rushers. I know Nick Bonito is one. I'm
Yeah,
forgetting the other one's name.
Yeah, did they retain him? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think
Nick
they did,
Bonito
though.
is under
No,
contract.
not Nick Bonito, the other one. I can't remember his name because I've been seeing
Um,
them go a lot with the pass rush help in the draft at this point, but I
They
think that
got a good D line actually. It's very
they've got
strong.
yeah, see, they've got other options though that I think they could take, but with the pick with the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL draft, the Denver Broncos select Luther Burden, wide receiver out of Missouri. I feel
Okay.
like I feel like you give Bo Nix a little more help and another target to
Mhm.
throw to, and that's going to be a very solid choice because they are realistically, pretty good on the defensive line. But I've been hearing a lot of talk about them with Kenneth Grant, which I don't necessarily think that'd be the best move for them, but it is something I've
I
heard.
mean, he would be nasty with the other options they have on
Oh,
the D line. Zach
absolutely
Allen,
would be.
Franklin Myers, and I think Cooper's a guy I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Um,
see, that's the one that's the one I'm worried about on draft
so
night
now
'cause they'll
Paul gets
take
to make Connor
you
either
might
freak
either make
out
me
or
very
squeal
Okay.
in excitement, depending on how he goes for the
yeah, I wanna see
Steelers.
this.
Because
I
Connor
wanna
is
see
the
this
most
because
least obvious Steelers fan ever. But anyways, let's move on to the pick for the Yinzer.
I
Who
grew
does
up that way.
Yinzer Nation pick?
Alright, let's see it.
They are going to go with safety Malachi Starks out of Georgia.
You know what? You've made way too much sense. They would never consider this, but if they did this,
That wouldn't be a bad idea
I
to pair him
would
with
go
Minka
wild
Fitzpatrick
on
because
draft night.
they would
Minka
have an
Fitzpatrick
elite
is
safety tandem.
declining. Like,
So
he is not what he was. He is
I
kinda
hate
he's
that
kinda
I
bad.
gotta be the guy to do this, but looking at the
Don't
options,
you dare.
let me look at. Hold on, I'm picking the Chargers now. Let me just look at their roster just to see. Um, yeah, I actually they did bring in Tyler Conklin. I was maybe thinking about a tight end, but I gotta just figure he played under Coach Harbaugh, and he knows that defense wins championships, and their only other defensive tackle is Tyler Tart. So with the 22nd pick in the NFL draft, the Los Angeles Chargers are taking Kenneth Grant. And as much as I want the Bills to take him, I don't think he falls to 30 anyway. So
Mhm.
Kenneth Grant is a selection for Los Angeles.
Yep.
Now the Packers,
All of Bill's Mafia dies internally when Kenneth Grant goes anywhere in that 20 range. Because I'm telling you, if he goes at 21 to the Steelers, that's my dream pick is Kenneth Grant at 21. But I don't think that's going to happen. They've got too many options. They could actually go corner and take Trey Amos or Azare Thomas at 21, but I don't
All right,
think they'll do that either. I
let's
think
pick
that'd
23,
be
Connor.
hmm?
Let's pick 23.
Oh yeah, that's me, right?
Green
For the
Bay.
Packers.
E.
Got to pick from my most hated
yeah, we
NFC
might need
team.
to just do speed round going forward
All
because
right.
we're
All
already
right.
at 40 minutes. So
All
at
right.
this
Go
rate,
all the way to the top.
we're gonna
All
have
the
a
way to
long
the top
show.
then. All the way to the top with
It's
the
not me, it's Paul.
I know. I know. Man. So they got, you know what? Actually, yeah, play the music. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver out of Ohio State. They really need their receiver help to get Jordan Love a little boost, and that would work.
So let's move to their division rivals in Minnesota.
The NFC
Oh, yeah,
version
me.
of the Bills, they're cursed.
This is interesting. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna look at the board here really quick.
It's a very interesting board that we've got
It's a
here.
very interesting board here because and he was oh
Man,
man.
I'd just be so happy if Malachi Starks was in the black and gold. Get this man a
Okay.
lifetime of Hermione Bros. I would be so happy. It saves them from wasting a pick on Jalen Milrow. And
All
All
right.
right,
I got the
gotta go
pick.
quick here.
Yeah, I got the pick.
Okay.
It's going to be Ormond Norman Lott out of
Okay.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Okay.
Good
So
choice.
now with the 25th pick, and I guess
Houston.
we'll just maybe we'll keep doing the music for the rest of the first round and just kill it for the second round so we can move through.
Fair enough.
But with the 25th pick, they ended up destroying CJ Stroud's protection in the offseason, and their O-line was suspect last year. So I feel like Calvin Banks is a no-brainer here. So the Texas boy stays in the state, which moves to the Rams.
All right. Oh, me. I'm picking for the Rams. This is incredible.
Who was 25?
Calvin
Calvin
Banks.
Banks.
Okay.
This is
We need
amazing.
our drafter to be.
Wow. So I'm the one that actually gets the Rams pick. This is hilarious knowing me. All right. So this pick right here, I'm just going to skip the intro. They're going to take Colston Loveland out of Michigan. They
Smart
desperately,
pick.
they need a tight end in a bad way, and they'll get him here.
Oh, of course, Paul gets the Ratbirds.
Oh, gross.
Oh, man.
Do me a favor, Paul, and draft someone like draft a quarterback.
All right.
Draft a quarterback.
So-
They need one.
The Ravens.
They're going to go with Nick Scorton out of A&M.
Okay.
Cool. A
Which
guy to get
now
held up.
moves to the Detroit Lions. I feel like this one is also interesting because they could go in a couple different directions, but I know the O-line has been important. They just lost. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe they retained Kevin Seitler. So with the 28th pick, the Detroit Lions are taking Gray Zabel from North Dakota State.
All right. I like it. Protect Jared Goff. All right. My turn. I'm the Commanders, the Commies. Okay. So they need a lot, but I'm going to assume that most of what they need is offensive line related. I think, what is that, edge right there at the front? They really could use
Yes.
a pass rush. You know what? Yeah, I am going to go ahead and grab Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M for the Commanders. Get them some pass rush to help them get to Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and the rest of them in their division.
So Paul will be picking 30.
All right,
for
Paul,
the
you know what
Bills.
to do. Don't you dare do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you do it, I will throw a shoe at you.
Oh my
Don't do it.
gosh!
Don't do
Oh
it.
my gosh!
If he does it,
Connor, we messed up. We should have
We-
taken him earlier, so
I
he
should've.
didn't even
I
get the
should've done
chance
it.
to do it. But
Okay,
I-
this
why
puts
did
me
we
in a
let-
this puts me in a
we already know
really,
who Paul is
really,
picking.
we know who
really
you-
bad
We need
spot.
to announce
Yes,
it.
because there is
Oh,
one pick right here that you make, and you are not going to make it.
well, it's his selection, so he picks
know.
who he
He's gonna
wants
make
to
it.
pick, and
Yep,
I
he's
think
gonna
we
make
both
it.
know he's going to do.
He's
For
gonna
So
make
this draft in particular,
Don't you
we
dare.
don't have trades. We don't have trades.
yes,
But if there was trades, the pick would be Matthew Golden 1000%.
well,
I'm
just go
too.
ahead and make it then, because I mean, honestly, if you look at the current board, I probably would be okay in this case,
Yeah.
considering Barron and Grant are off the
Mhm.
board.
Trey
I mean-
Amos is right there.
I know,
Right,
but we all know how
Right, but you
Paul's
could
brain
trade up
works.
for him in the
Offense,
second round.
offense wins championships, according to Paul. So I don't know,
Yeah.
Paul. Just make the pick. We got to get through this
Yeah.
draft eventually.
Yes, we do. So make it.
Yeah, we all knew how
We
obvious
knew it was
that was.
coming. Yep. I
Which,
should have taken him a whole lot earlier.
yeah, I was going to take him so many times, and I didn't. So we
No, you know
definitely
what?
messed up.
No, you know what? I was thinking about this
So
earlier
this
today.
this leaves the Chiefs, which they desperately need O-line help too. So Josh Connerly, tackle Oregon.
You know what I was actually thinking of earlier today, Ben? Imagine if the Bills passed on Trey Amos at 30 and the Chiefs said, "Hey, we see what you're doing there," and they take him at 31.
Yeah, I was tempted to
Oh man, I would
pick him
want
there,
to.
but they needed O-line help
Mhm.
so badly
They
that
do.
I mean I couldn't pass up on the O-line.
Oh yeah, you
So
ain't kidding.
we got
So
our final pick of the first round, so
All
this will be the final jingle because we got to
Yep.
get through the second and third round in
indeed,
15 minutes.
and
give
it
or
is
take.
mine.
Yeah.
It is mine. So the Eagles are a complete team. They don't really need that much, but I feel like in this situation, they are going to go, they won't necessarily go best player available because I think, at least according to the board here, the best player available isn't entirely a need that they have. But at this pick, I am 100% going to draft Trey Amos. out of
Yeah, they
Mississippi.
did lose Darius
They-
Slay, so that
yeah,
would be a very
Darius-
smart pick. You know,
Darius
to pair
Slay is a
him
Yinzer now.
to pair him with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean would just
Oh,
be
that'd be
absolutely nasty. So
disgusting.
we got to get through the second, third rounds fairly quickly. So
Cleveland.
Cleveland, Paul is on the clock. Which I also noticed another thing about this draft. How did we only have one quarterback go in the first round? I know PFF's board is nasty, but that is I just noticed Shador Sanders hasn't been picked yet.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. We got 3 rounds. Shut up.
I know Connor's trying to make him stay available all the way to Pittsburgh, but I don't think that's realistic. But Paul, let's just go ahead. We got to get through this.
Yeah, we're just gonna go rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Who do you got for?
They go wide receiver Alec Amyror. All right, who's next?
Interesting.
Oh yes, very.
That leads me. If this happens, this is the absolute best scenario for the Giants. Yeah. So with the 34th pick, the New York Giants are taking Shador Sanders from.
Dude, could you imagine?
If this happens, the Giants definitely got very lucky.
Luckiest draft in their lives, and they'd still find a way to screw it up.
And just think about it, like to be able to come away with Sanders and Travis Hunter, like that would be a slam dunk. Like
they'd win the draft instantly.
We're next to the Titans, who took Cam Ward round 1. So let's rapid fire now. So does Cam Ward need a weapon?
Jaden Higgins round 2. Get him
I
a
was
weapon
just
right
gonna
away.
say, all right. I almost said it wrong.
No, you would have said it right.
No,
you would have had it.
Duval.
Yeah, don't be like Liam Cohen. He is
it is. I'll always say it like that. Duval.
Oh my god.
All right. Who does Duval take?
So, well, I'll tell you one thing.
I'm just waiting.
Anybody on their board right now, one of them's available.
For that video to be abused during all the Jaguars shit posts after they win games. Like, it's coming. Their very first win, that is going to be all over the timeline. So who does Duval take, Paul? That rhymes.
Duval goes Penn State guy Kevin Winston Jr.
They definitely help on the secondary. I probably would have taken Morrison or Watts, but let's go to the Raiders.
Morrison's on their board for sure.
Can we see who the Raiders took round 1 again?
That wasn't Jeanty, was it?
No, McMillan. So, looking at their needs, they did just get rid of Jack Jones. I feel like this is a layup here, so give me Benjamin Morrison. I really don't even have to think much about it. Yep. So now Connor has to take for New England. I was stuck with that dirty task. The first round, they took Armand Membu. This one, I kind of have an idea who I would take, but who do you take here, Connor?
Oh, man. Well, I hate to be this kind of guy because they could really, really use the help here. Michael Williams out of Georgia. Get him some pass rush.
I would have thought maybe Jack Besh, but
Jack Besh would have been an idea.
We're on to the Bears. So the Bears took a Marion Hampton round 1. Who did they go round 2?
Okay, that's me. So they need D-line help. They need safety help. They need running back help. They got that help in the first round with Hampton. I think Xavier Watts would be a great.
That would be a great pick for him. So now the Saints, and I feel like it works out this way for the Saints. It would also be a dream. So give me quarterback Jackson Dart. They've done a lot of homework on this guy. There are rumors that he could go in the first round even. So Jackson Dart here feels like an easy pick. I mean, it's crazy just to see how the PFF board goes because they don't even have him rated as like a round 4 prospect. So
I know.
Yeah, they had
the Bears' second round pick goes to Connor. So who are you taking here, Connor?
Okay, who did they pick the first few times already?
They took Marion Hampton and Watts.
Safety. Okay, so this is Landon Jackson right here. I feel like BPA is going to be their best option right now with a second round pick. And Paul has the disgusting Jets.
Oh man.
So
they went Tyler Warren.
Suck.
Bad news, Paul. The Sabres are already losing, but is that a surprise? No, it is not.
Oh man, yeah, they are losing.
So
they got their weapon in Tyler Warren. They're going to go try to solidify their defensive line. They're going to take Tyleik Williams here.
Oh, that's another guy I wish the Bills could take.
Jets will waste him. Don't
So
worry.
now we're on to San Fran, who in round one, refresh me, they took a corner, I believe, right? Jade Barron.
Yep.
So they also need D-line help. So truck in pencil in Derek Harmon for this pick.
Man, that'd be another great pick for the Bills. All right. Wait, am I Dallas? I'm really Dallas.
Yes, you are.
You are Dallas.
How
Why
about them Cowboys?
Yeah. How about them? So they took Mike Green first. So the second round, they are going to take Jack Besh, however you say his last name, out of TCU.
I think it's Besh.
Besh, give
Besh.
Dak Prescott some help because Lord knows he needs it. Give him a guy to pair alongside CeeDee Lamb. All right, Paul. Now you've got the Colts. Good,
I
not me
do.
for once.
All right, so they went Jihad Campbell in the first round.
You're welcome.
So now they have a corner. They don't need they actually don't need a corner help. They need a guard help. They're gonna go Tyler Booker here.
All right. I can kind of see that actually. It's not a bad idea. All right, Ben, you are Hotlanta, 28-3.
And they took Donovan round one, right?
I believe so. Go ahead.
They
Let's
went,
check
yeah,
that.
they went
Or
Ezra.
Devon, as Paul like to say. So
Devon Achane.
yeah, that's what I thought of.
Devon.
So let me see. They need
Yes.
linebacker
receivers,
too.
Mhm.
Who's the best linebacker on the board right now?
According to PFF, at least.
Demetrius Knight.
Knight.
Yes. This way,
Interesting.
Connor can't take him for the Bills as he's done in all of his recent mock drafts.
Hey,
So yeah,
that was BPA. Thank you.
give me Demetrius Knight here.
You know what they say about BPA? The rich can only get richer, and the Bills in those drafts got richer by a lot.
All right. Well, let's move to
All right.
the Cardinals for
Okay.
Connor.
My turn. All right. So who was the first pick for them, Paul? Was it
Walter
Nolan.
Okay, so this is the pick here where they're going to get Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky. They
Okay.
could definitely use help with the secondary,
So
and
now,
they'll get him here.
interesting. So they have two corners named Max because they also have
Yes.
Max Melton, who they took last year. So
Yep.
Interesting combo.
The Max duo.
Yeah,
Get it?
I see the vision.
Yep. Get it?
So they went the Dolphins went Will Johnson round one. They need
Is
some
this
tackle help. They're going to go Devon Jackson at 48.
Okay, so this is still not a
Oh,
Greer
you
pick.
know,
Okay.
Devon and Donovan are two different names.
Yeah, this is still not a Greer pick. That would still be a very wasted idea of a pick. All right, Ben, this is all you right here. Make this a terrible pick. I beg of you.
Scroll down a little bit. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, you're really going.
Give me Tate Ratledge. Give them
Tate
all the
Ratledge.
Georgia boys. They need
Oh,
offensive
man,
line help, interior defensive line help. So
their whole
they
draft class is going to be arrested in 3 weeks.
yeah,
Brilliant.
they're going the Philly route. So
I
now
love it.
Connor has the privilege of taking Seattle.
Okay, I like where this is going. So they took Josh Simmons
yep.
round one. That was a good call. So in this one, give me Braden Swinson out of LSU. Get them some help at edge. Solidify that room. All right.
And Denver.
Oh, you are the Denver Donkeys.
They went Burden round one.
Should have went Golden.
Running back help.
Should have went Golden.
They should have. I think this Cam Scatterboo is ranked 51st in the class. That's interesting. I wouldn't think that. But you know
have
what?
you seen his tape? He's actually not that bad.
He's really is good, but I wasn't
freak.
thinking that he was a second round guy.
No,
I
he
think
is.
they're gonna go. They're gonna go Trevion Henderson right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see it.
So now, Seattle is another pick. How about that?
How about it?
So they took Swinson and Simmons.
You have to get a. This is skateboard right here. You got to get a guy with the name S. Forget positional value. Get a guy whose name is S.
Wait, they took Simmons. Yeah, they already got.
This is an interesting choice now, ain't it?
Give me. I'll stick with the trend. Give me Schlesinger from
There we
UCLA. I feel like linebacker could be something they need. Congrats, Connor. You ended up with
Aha,
Tampa. So let's see who
nice.
you're
Let's
gonna take for
go.
your Bucks.
All right. Well, we have a perfect opportunity if the board were to shake out this way in Tampa's favor. This pick right here would probably be Princely Uman Milan out of Mississippi. Get the edge help that they desperately need right here. Paul, you're up. Packers.
All right, with Green Bay, they went wide receiver. Ooh, they went Abuka in the first round. They need some edge help. So this could be interesting here because they also need safe cornerback here, and Rebel is still on the board. And then there's Tuamalo.
I would
I feel
probably
like
think I think they would really
they're
need
going.
the pass rush help, honestly.
They do. So I'm going to go JT Tuamalo here.
All right. Ben, you're up. Chargers. Pick it.
Chargers, and they broke our hearts earlier by taking Kenneth Grant. Let's see what else they need.
Tight
They need
end and
wide
D-line.
receiver.
Who is the best tight end available?
There's a tight end still available. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
What about
God.
receivers? Let's see the receiver options for them.
Jalen
Yo,
Royals would be
I
nice.
I think I'm gonna go Royals. Give them some speed on offense.
Yes.
All right. I
All
feel
right.
like this is
I
Connor's
wait.
pick,
how
but I
did
feel like
I
this
got
is
the
obvious.
Bills.
Oh, I was gonna
I
say for
got
some
the
reason
I
I
got
thought it
the
was Paul's.
Bills.
I was
I
like,
got
yes,
the
all right.
Bills. All right. You have given me the perfect pick. He has fell right into my lap. Scroll down for me, Paul. This one is the perfect antidote to what you have already done. Keep going. Keep going. He is okay. Keep going. Okay. This pick right here is Azare Thomas. This is our boy, Ben. He's coming to Buffalo right here, right now. Give me my boy. We already saw how it worked out so great with
Carolina.
Keon.
Can we look at
Azare,
Carolina's board?
Azare. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh wait,
They
no,
Azare
went
it's
would.
Will
Paul. It's Paul.
Campbell.
Yep. So
It's
Paul,
my
you're up.
turn.
I,
Yeah.
I jumped the gun.
Carolina went Campbell in the first round. They need defensive back help. It falls right into their lap. They're gonna go Siobhan Revel here.
Well, now if you look at Houston, they need wide receiver help, and they did take Calvin Banks round 1, and for some reason I'm Houston again, which I guess
Nice.
I won't hate. Go ahead and look at the board or the wide receiver talent. Give me Trey Harris here. That
Oh,
I would
wow.
honestly kind of
Yes.
dislike if this actually does happen, because if you consider Trey Harris and Nico Collins on the outside
Man, that'd be
with
nasty.
Christian Kirk in the slot, and
Traitor.
then Dalton Schultz at tight end, like that would be a nasty
That's
receiving core.
nasty.
So yeah, now Connor is the Ratbirds.
This is disgusting. I absolutely hate this. This might even be worse than the Bengals. Okay, so they took an edge right off the board. Okay, their needs. They got a good bit of needs on the offensive line. Scroll down for me, Paul, if you don't mind. They also, you know what? Hold on. Scroll up a little bit. They, I'm gonna take Oluwafemi Oladejo
So
out of
you're gonna double
UCLA.
dodge at
I'm gonna
edge.
double dip
Double
at
dip
edge.
at
They
edge.
really
Okay.
need it. Like
All right.
if you watch them, they need it.
Let's
All
hear
right.
Paul for the Lions. Round
Lions
1, they took
went
Gray
Zabel in
Zabel.
the first round.
Yep.
They need wide receiver, guard. I feel like this is too early for like a Kyle Williams here, so I
This would be
won't go
way
there.
too early for Kyle Williams.
Yeah, just a little too early. They need defensive end help. Let's see. This would be probably a good pick for Jared Ivey. I'm gonna go ahead and take Jared Ivey.
Okay, I could see it.
All right. Ben,
Ben's
it's all
turn.
you as the commies.
Of course, I miss out on the Bills again. Dang it.
Rip.
So It does say they need running back help. Let's get them a weapon on offense. They already added defense. I would take Dylan Sampson.
Dylan Sampson over Cam Skatebow.
Oh
man.
All right, Connor.
I got the Bills again. Let's go.
Yeah, and Connor, if you do not make this pick, I will be very disappointed considering he is still on the board and we know what the Bills need.
Yeah, if this is, I feel like you and I are probably on the same wavelength. If the wavelength is Darius Alexander,
then that is not the wavelength. But if you are
wavelength.
feeling it, I mean, I actually like Alexander, so it wouldn't be a bad pick.
They really we need pass rush help, and we already lost out on Kenneth Grant. We got our cornerback help.
Go to D-line, though. Go to
yeah,
D-line.
Yeah, not edge. Yeah, defensive line other than TJ Sanders is still on the board, but I still really like Darius Alexander there.
Well, take him.
Might as well.
Who
are you thinking, Ben?
I was thinking, take him because that's Connor's pick.
Yeah, take Darius Alexander.
I was thinking Alfred Collins. I feel like if Alfred Collins was there, that would be a slam dunk. But Alexander is not a bad backup option. And yes, Paul gets to pick the Chiefs. I don't have to do that again. Paul,
Beautiful.
Who are you thinking for the Chiefs here?
They went Connerly Jr. in the first round. They need that was a tackle. They also need a guard. Let's take a really quick look. Oh, not yet.
Give them all the offensive line help because they desperately need it after the Super Bowl. That was a disgusting.
I think this goes straight to defensive line right now, and they're going to take TJ Sanders.
All right.
So now
then
Eagles.
So they got Trey Amos.
Who's
welcome. The best edge? Who's the best edge? I would hate if it worked out this way,
Josiah Stewart. Wow.
Yeah, Josiah Stewart feels like a no-brainer there.
That's brutal.
So now Connor gets tasked to the Giants, who have Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders.
What a slam dunk of a draft!
Are there any more Colorado players that can take?
That's what I'm about to say. All right, so hold on. They need tackle. They need defensive line. They need cornerback,
which they already got technically in Travis Hunter. So
this is true. So, man, there are not many options other than best player available. No, wait. They need help at cornerback. Give me Darian Porter. It might be a little bit of a reach, just a little one.
I don't think it's a reach there.
They do need cornerback help, and he's right there. So I'm going to take him there.
It's signed Paulson Adebo though, so it will be interesting to see where they play. Where they end up playing. What's his name? Oh, the Chiefs are on the clock again. All right, Paul.
Yeah, it's me again.
That's disgusting. Right. I'm so sorry.
I only had to take him once.
All right, this is interesting because they do need offensive line help. And I feel like they already took their defensive line. They need a tackle. They already took a guard. They're going to go with Irsay out of Minnesota.
Okay. Now,
interesting.
Now Cleveland. Let's go to Cleveland. They got, I think, Iomanner and Carter. Yep. So they
definitely a factory of sadness.
They need a quarterback, and there have been ties to this particular one. Give me Jalen Milroe out of Alabama, which I know saves him from going to the Steelers for Connor's sake. So I feel like, let me see, who are the Raiders taking? I feel like this one almost just seems like a Raiders pick.
If this is what we're both thinking of, then yeah. So they got McMillan and they got Benjamin Morrison. This right here is where Skatebow's journey ends.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just seems like a Raider. So he looks like a Raider.
He kind of does. If that's even a thing.
You're going Cam Skatebow?
Yes, whatever his last name is.
I like Skatebow better.
Skatebow. I'm calling him
Paul
Skatebow.
Finally gets to pick New England. Me and Connor are already tasked with doing this, but we kind of have given them a decent roster so far in the trenches. Mendu and Williams.
I hate that we did this. Can we not do it?
This would probably be the perfect time for them to take wide receiver here. They're going to take Kyle Williams at 69.
Everyone in Bills Mafia screams in terror.
Jacksonville. This is just kind of, I guess, a funny pick considering he's from the state, and they have actually been tied to Tyler Warren. So if they don't get Warren and they do end up going Mason Graham round 1, round 2, I think you took Winston Jr., right? So They need offensive help. Give me Elijah Arroyo. They did lose.
Oh.
They did lose their tight end from last year and Evan
Evan
Ingram.
Ingram?
So yep.
I didn't think they lost him.
Oh,
Hold
he's
up,
in
where did he
Denver
go?
now.
Yeah.
Denver.
Oh, right.
So they did
All
lose
right.
a couple weapons on offense. So if they got to rely on Gabe Davis to be their number 2 pass catching option, yeah, that's not going to fly. So Connor is now on the Saints, who actually are kind of cooking now with Ashton GT and Jackson Dart. So it says they
Yeah.
need wide receiver help and defensive line help. So how are you going to go?
All right. So let's see. Scroll down for me, Paul, because all we got up here is running backs and safeties, which they don't need. All right. You said, yeah, they need defensive line help. And, they're, yeah, Shamar Turner.
CJ West.
Shamar Turner.
Shamar Turner.
Oh,
I'm taking
Shamar Turner.
Shamar
Okay,
Turner.
cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
CJ West is just on PFF's board. I've heard a lot of better things about Shamar Turner.
Okay, so that leads to the Bears, who have had a solid
Bears.
mock as well so far between Hampton, Watts, and Jackson. So what are you thinking here?
I'm taking CJ West. They need some help.
Okay.
They need some
And that
defensive
leads
line help. They got Landon Jackson add to the interior, so CJ
so that
West.
leads me to the JETS. Just end the season. Who have they taken so far besides
Just
Tyler
end the
Warren?
season, indeed.
Oh yes,
Tyler
Tyleek
Warren
Williams.
and
They've
Tyleek
actually,
Williams.
as much as I dislike the Jets, they're low key cooking right now. Which
Why would you let them cook?
I
Who
know.
let them cook?
Scroll down a little bit
Both-
because there are
Both
some
Patriots and
interesting.
Jets are cooking in their drafts.
I
There are
hate
some
this.
interesting options here for them. Keep going. I'm gonna take Ozzie Trapillo from Boston College. They definitely need some help in the trenches. I thought quarterback, but if they could come away with Tyler Warren, Tyleek Williams, and Trapillo, that would be a haul for them the first 3 rounds. So that leads us to Carolina. Who do the keep pounding Panthers take?
You know they're just going to rely on Justin Fields because it's the Jets.
Yep.
But all right. This is mine, right?
Yes.
Again, I picked the Panthers again. Okay. Go over to the draft, see what they need. Okay, so yeah, they kind of could use. Is that defensive back all the way on the right?
Yeah, defensive back,
Mhm.
which they already took. So they
Which,
need
okay, yeah. we
wide
took
receiver
one.
and edge are their other listed needs.
All right, so scroll down for me, Paul. Let's see what we got here. Wide receiver and edge. Oh, there. Yeah, you know what? This just feels like the Panthers. I'm taking Restrepo right here.
That wouldn't be a bad pick, though.
No,
I
not
mean,
really. I mean, they really
look
do need
past
to give
his
Bryce Young
40
help.
time. He is a great separator.
Keon Coleman should have taught everybody not to solely look at 40 times.
Yes. And Paul, you are San Fran. So who do you got for San Fran here?
My condolences.
Cornerback, defensive.
They're kinda cooking
interior,
too.
need-
Real.
All right, cool. They went Harmon and they went Barron.
So
So they don't
kind of looks like
really-
they need O-line now from just what I'm putting together.
Trying to
Oh,
see who's
yes, for
first
sure.
Available. Okay, they could go. They can go Marcus Embo here if they would want. I would think so because
like
Be a
he was-
Mebo
solid pick.
better.
Yeah, be solid.
yeah.
Okay. And that leads me to how about them Cowboys?
How are
Let's
they
see
going
who
to
they
screw
took.
this up?
Let's see who they took.
Green
Zach
and
Bash
Bash.
and Mike Green. Okay. I feel like that's not terrible
Caleb
so
Williams.
far.
Caleb
No, it
Johnson
really
is
isn't.
not a bad pick here.
I was just gonna say that kind of seems like a slam dunk for them, so it probably won't gonna happen. So I'll
It
still make
absolutely won't happen.
it is still a mock draft, and this is who I would take if I was making the pick. So I would take Caleb Johnson here
Yeah, solid.
because I looked at their depth chart. Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders is not scaring anyone
No, it is
from the
not.
opposing defense next year. So
Wait, are you telling me I have to pick the Patriots again?
Low
Oh my
key,
God,
this
I
is
hate
really
this.
good for the Patriots.
Tackle, edge, wide receiver. Yeah, and you know what? I hate to do this. I'm going to make it even better. Go to the full draft. I'm not even going to. Yeah, I hate that I'm about to do this because this is literally going to be the biggest slam dunk of their lives. Andrew Makuba out of Texas right here. Just go best player available. Stack the backfield with another playmaker. Yeah, I hate this. Why did I do this? I
so
hate
now
everything
the
about that
Cardinals
pick.
are up, and I believe they got Devon first round, right?
Yes.
No, Walter Nolan.
Wait,
Sorry,
Mhm.
Walter
right.
Nolan and Maxwell
Solid
Harrison.
pick. Solid
Yeah,
pick.
I mean, not bad for Arizona. Let me see. guard. You could check defensive lineman and cornerback off. So this probably seems like a good spot for a guard here. Who's available?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Really. Guard.
You
That was our tackle.
click tackle. Yeah, interior
Yeah,
O-line.
my
There
bad.
we go. I feel like
My
Jared
Anakin
Wilson would
backpack.
be a bad pick. Yeah, that's probably what I would feel like. So you going Jared Wilson?
You going, Jared Wilson?
Is it?
Oh, it's
No,
my
it's your
pick. Oh,
pick. Your pick.
I completely forgot. Sorry. Yeah, I think they already crossed off cornerback and defensive interior. So yeah, Jared Wilson would probably be the pick
That
here.
leads me to. I go back to the draft because I believe I did all of their picks so far.
Houston. That's amazing.
Yes, I did, and I
This is
also
wild.
let them cook.
You did.
And I know they just added Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. As much as I want to slam Eman Worry into that secondary to make it even better, you don't really have a spot to play him, honestly, because they did also draft Kalen Bullock last year too. So just kind of looking at it, Joe Mixon's getting older. Damian Pierce isn't the player they thought he'd be after his rookie season. I think this is a good spot to take Judkins. And I hate they get this. And
Yeah.
Connor somehow ended up with the Colts again. Let's look at the who
Yeah,
they
go
took.
to the picks again so I can make sure I don't accidentally double dip at a position they don't need. All right,
They
where's the
went
next Alabama
Alabama.
player?
I was just gonna say it.
All right, linebacker, guard. They do need help at safety. Yeah,
Tight
so
end too, though.
oh yeah, tight end. Where
Because
is
if you remember,
is
they
he
just signed
right.
Andrew
Yeah.
Bynum from Minnesota.
Mason Taylor right here in that
Yeah,
case.
I feel like
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
that's a
So now
that's a good get.
Cincinnati is on the clock.
All right, Paul, get him. Make this terrible.
All right. So
Make it a
they
Georgia
went
player
Georgia,
again.
Right?
Walker and Ratledge. Let's see. What are their other needs? Guard, linebacker. Let's see what the first
Quarterback
the
because
first
Burrow ain't it.
linebacker on the board is Kyle Kennard. They're going to get Kyle Kennard.
Cool,
That's
a guy
an
to
edge.
get. Yeah. That's
Paul
even
can
better
word.
yet. That's even better yet. Let him cook. Let him cook.
I was gonna say Chris Paul Jr. could be. So now Seattle. Let's go to Seattle.
All right, Ben, this is all you.
I mean, I
Tackle,
feel like
edge,
they're just
linebacker.
loading up. I feel like they're just loading up that side of the ball. I am tempted to take a man Worry here because I don't think he'll be available this late in the draft. But looking at wide receiver, outside of Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith and Jigba, I feel like they still kind of need some help because I don't think MVS is scaring anyone as a number 3 receiver. So
No.
I'm going to pencil in Jalen Knoll here.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Oh, my God. You've given me the Yidzer pick?
Oh, Connor
You've given me the Yidzer pick. Oh, man. He fell into my lap, too. So let's go over the picks again just to make sure who we already got. Okay, so Malachi Starks. Yeah, they don't have a second-round pick. But even though I think that in the draft they're going to trade up to get a second-round pick at the expense of George Pickens, we're not doing it here. But if this would be how it went, this would be the pick where I will literally break down into tears on day 2, go all the way down, Paul, find him, and pencil in Will Howard to the Steelers. Wherever he is, this is where he goes. Will Howard, you are a Steeler. I hope you like Primati Bros, but my guy.
So they
because you will
double
be
dipped
full
here
of it.
at edge. The Buccaneers. They went Pierce and Ulamo. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to say his name right. So they went Princely.
Now you need to
I'm
draft.
just going to say Princely.
Yeah, now you need to draft.
They need some defensive.
Crazy name.
They need some defensive back help. The man, the myth, the legend, Nick Iamori.
I knew it.
Will go to
another guy with a hard to pronounce last name.
Perfect for Paul. Paul's just taking all the guys he can't pronounce his name. So
literally
just to make the show as entertaining as possible. But I mean, if they have Eman Worry to pair with Antoine Winfield Jr., that would actually be nasty.
Nice.
Like
That'd
one of the
really
best safety tandems in the league easily.
For real.
So now we go to Denver, and can we see who Denver's taken?
Yeah. They have taken Burden and Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the fact that he's still available here and he is a need for them this could also give Denver a very sneaky good draft. So go ahead and take Alfred Collins.
Oh yeah, that would be nuts.
So Connor has the Chargers. Let's see who they took.
I do.
Grant and
Okay.
Royals, not bad.
Grant and Royals, yeah, they're cooking.
What do they need?
Tight end and defensive line here.
Well, they already did. They already took Grant.
Yeah, that's right. And I see exactly who's still on the board. Give me Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. Give them a tight end that they can rely on.
And we know they love Oregon players with Justin Herbert.
This is true with Justin Herbert. Yeah.
So, okay, who's the next Ohio State player available?
Oh man, Lathan Ransom. Just pick Lathan Ransom right here.
I mean, they do need a
they need a
let's
guy
see, corner.
Here.
Let's see.
They need corner.
Wide receiver, edge and corner, but I think one of them's already a corner somewhere. One of the picks was
edge and wide receiver, so they definitely need corner help.
Right? Yeah.
But I feel like this is too early for Dorian Strong.
I feel like a lot of the players in this draft are very simple.
Yeah,
like this is like I wouldn't think
and rankings. I don't think the third round is too early for Strong.
Like, I think he could go here realistically.
Yeah, he could definitely go here. Like a lot of guys between pick 60 and 100 there's going to be a lot of variation depending on whose board you look at.
Oh, so, for sure.
I don't think there's really a lot of true reaches now.
Not right now, no.
Jacksonville, let's go back to who they took. That's right. Graham, Winston, Arroyo. We're going to keep I know it's not listed as a big need, but you hear the rumors and they do have a new coach, so I think he's going to want to add his own special touches, because who is the next available wide receiver? I think the wide receiver talent kind of falls off here. Yes, Savion Williams. I feel like he's not the type of receiver they're going to be looking for, because he kind of is like a hybrid of Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas Jr. almost. Like he is a fast receiver with bad hands, so that's almost like combining their other two receivers. So I feel like that's just not a good fit. It's not listed as a need here, but I don't think ETN's going to be here long term, and we know that Cohen likes running backs, so we're going to keep RJ Harvey in the state of Florida.
I had a feeling you'd say that.
So, which I don't think would be a bad pick either. I mean, him and Bigsby could be a decent duo, a decent tandem, and that's kind of like how Liam Cohen likes to run his offense anyways. And surprisingly, I'm not Houston, so let's see who Houston takes here.
Tackle, wide receiver, running back. All right. They need. All right. Give me Jonah Sevalinea, however you say that, the tackle to help protect CJ Stroud.
So we're now to the Chargers. We're now to the Rams. Sorry.
I stole their pick from them. They would have 100% taken a quarterback here. I bet they'll look right here, though, because they want to find Stafford's next in line. So this would probably be a Quinn Ewers area pick if
who else did they take?
And they got Riley Leonard.
They just took Loveland so far.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Chris Paul Jr. here.
Okay.
That's solid.
Chris Paul Jr. finally gets to play for LA. Well, I guess he did play for the Clippers, but so he's going back to LA.
They don't count.
Right, exactly. So Paul's on the Ravens, right? Are we gonna take another edge here? Oh, yes. I'm the Ravens. Let's see.
Take another edge.
I feel like they really need O-line help, though, kind of.
They do. They really
so I'm going to go Wyatt Millam.
All right. Not bad. Oh, I'm Seattle again? All right.
Yeah, you're Seattle.
Let me cook. Tackle, edge, linebacker, wide receiver. Let's see.
That's a great draft for Seattle, by the way.
It is. It really is. So scroll down a little bit. Let's see what we got. They still need help at
guard, it says.
Yeah, guard.
Guard.
A lot of tackles up here. Keep going. They got edge. Good Lord. Are there really no like actual wow. Okay. So we're really we can't default to best player available because they don't really need a running back. What was their other picks? They took edge, right? Yeah, they took edge. Why not double dip here and take Elijah Roberts?
I had a feeling you were going to do that. So
it feels like something that would make sense because you want to double dip there and actually, give them options. All right, Paul.
Paul is the Saints.
The Aints.
Mm-hmm.
Have took
So
GT,
they
Dart,
went
and
Genti,
Turner.
Dart,
God, what a
Turner.
draft.
That's a really good draft, by the way.
Let us cook.
So they need running back, wide receiver, defensive line. They
Turner.
basically addressed everything they need. They need a wide receiver. Let's see what the best right now is. I feel like it's kind of thin.
Savion Williams.
No, that's not that big of a reach. I
No,
could
it
see
really
Yeah,
it.
it's
isn't.
not. No.
I literally saw somebody in Bills Mafia say they'd pick him with the second round pick, and I went, "Are you serious right now?
What?
Really?
So
Crazy.
Cleveland.
Really?"
Let's see what they're doing. I believe it's
The
Abdul
factory
Carter,
of sadness.
Ailmanor, and Milrow. I feel like they kind of need a running back, especially since Chubb isn't re-signed yet.
Yeah,
And their only really other options on their roster is Ford, which I feel like he's just kind of a jag. I like Damian Martinez here.
yeah, I could see it.
Oh yes, I
Absolutely.
avoided being the Chiefs again. Thank God. So
Yep.
who is
Now it's
Connor
my
gonna
turn to
take?
suffer.
Connor.
Okay. So two tackles and defensive. Was it defensive line?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Go back to the draft. Let's see what they need. So guard, tackle, and
This would
defensive
probably
line.
be a big pick for like Sawyer or maybe
Yeah,
even
I'm gonna go Jack
Broughton
Sawyer
here.
right here. I'm taking Jack Sawyer.
All right, Philly.
Philadelphia
Alright,
Eagles.
Philly. Edge, they took in the second round, they took Josiah Stewart. In the first round, they went Trey Amos.
You're
They
welcome.
need some edge help. Corner, let's see.
Paul, that Trey Amos pick is entirely your fault.
I know.
If someone wants
I
to
kinda
blame
feel
me,
bad for that.
Edge, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the edge right. I'm gonna try to pull him up right now.
No, they took an edge, I
Alright.
believe, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
potentially.
Stewart. So
So
there's
this could
really
be
no guards at this point. They already took their
nope.
cornerback. I feel
Maybe a
like
wide
this would be
receiver.
they do. I mean, Tesla right here would be good. Or
Yeah.
even getting Tez Johnson here. But I mean, they ranked
Tez
him at
Johnson.
one.
Oh my God. Yeah. That'd be wild.
I'll go Tesla.
Hey
For the Eagles.
Alexa, whip a Tesla. Let's see the Vikings. Of course, Connor's gonna end up with Miami. That's hilarious.
Oh my
His former
God.
team.
No way.
So they only have one pick so
We don't
far, and
talk
that's
about my crack days.
Normand Lott. So let's see what else they need. I do believe they
Running
brought back.
back.
I do believe they brought back. They did bring back Aaron Jones. So I'd say Lathan Ransom, especially since they lost Andrew Bynum
Mhm.
or Cam Bynum. Is it Cam Bynum? I think Andrew Bynum was a basketball player, right? Cam
Yeah, I
Bynum,
think it's
Might
Cam
have been.
Bynum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Alright,
Cam
so
Bynum.
I
He went to
actually have the
Indianapolis.
Miami Dolphins here. This is disgusting. Okay, so I feel like I need to be the one to make the Chris Greer style pick right here. So let's see. They need basically everything offensive line, interior defensive line. They need cornerback help. But I believe I am going to make the Greer style pick right here. I will, as the Chris Greer mind here, take DJ Giddens
I was just thinking
out
that.
of
That's
Kansas
good.
State because running back, and he might be fast.
Yeah, right.
This is the Greer pick. This is it right here. This
All
is
right,
the
so
why is
Paul
better
is on the
GM.
clock for the Giants, who've actually been cooking so far.
I think this is
They
an
need a
obvious
tackle.
pick.
Yeah,
This is going. I mean, they can go either Cameron Williams or they can even go Broughton here. I mean, they're both really on the board. They
I
haven't
do think
addressed
they
their
should.
offensive line
Yeah,
at
I
all.
do think they got to protect their young quarterback, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I somehow am San Francisco again. Interesting.
Nice.
Who is San Francisco's picks again? Refresh me. I know is Barron, Harmon, Embo. Kind of early for a guard. Looking at the class, scroll down. I want to see who else is available. Okay. I feel like this could kind of be a 49er style pick. Yes, they still have obviously an elite tight end, but
And George Kittle, yes.
yeah, I think Fannin just kind of screams like a Kyle Shanahan pick. I mean, they
Ooh.
tried it a couple years ago with a kid out of Alabama. His name's slipping my mind, but he's kind of been a bust. I think Harold Fannin could be a fun piece. Give
Interesting.
Purdy
Yeah.
a target after he lost
Nice.
Debo. So now
All
we have
right.
the last 2 picks.
Rams and Lions. All right. So wait, I'm the Rams.
You are the
Yes.
Rams.
Brilliant. This is
Who's
going to be where I finally do it. Tight end, linebacker. They have to
I feel like
consider.
they need another Florida State defensive lineman.
I wish there was. Oh wait, yeah.
Yes,
Well,
there
he
is.
is
Joshua
here.
Farmer.
Josh Farmer is here.
Come
Wait,
on, that's the
where is
perfect
he?
Rams pick. I
It
don't know.
really.
Their board doesn't have him that high,
Their
but
board has him way too low.
yeah, he's gonna go day 2,
Yeah.
guaranteed. With how
You know
it's
what?
gonna work
I
out.
was originally going to take a quarterback here because the Rams are looking at one, but this is way too obvious to not do. I'm going to go ahead and send Joshua Farmer to Florida State South. I mean, the
West.
Rams. Southwest, yes. Seems way too obvious.
Yeah, I was just
All
gonna
right,
say. I
so
just was thinking, is there a Florida State defensive lineman? Oh yes, there is.
Yeah, our boy Joshua Farmer.
Yes.
Man, I'd love him. I'd love him to be a Bills pick. Oh my god.
Oh hell yeah.
to end the mock draft, the Detroit Lions will go Jordan Birch out of Oregon.
Oh, all right. Nice way to end the draft
Okay.
right there. Beautiful.
Make sure to download the draft, Paul, so we can
I will.
Yeah,
post
especially
it and get roasted by all the fans of the other teams, because it's the fact that some of the quarterbacks lasted as long as they did. I don't think is realistic. Like I think there'll be
not
3
Shedder.
There's
Shedder
gonna be there's gonna be 3 quarterbacks round 1, potentially 4
Stop.
when you consider Milroe was invited to the draft and accepted an invitation. So he may have already had conversations with Tomlin about if
actually no. Do you want to hear the truth about this, Ben? You know who they've had the most conversations with out of any of the round 1 guys? Matthew Golden. If he falls that far, he'll go to the Steelers. I'm gonna almost guarantee that.
Yeah.
So to recap, the Bills picks were Matthew Golden round 1. The Bills also wins Azir
Thomas.
Azir Thomas. I got that one. Azir Thomas at 56, and Darius Alexander.
Definitely not a terrible mock draft. I kind of like that.
We cooked.
We did.
Or really, I cooked.
I
mean, I had 2 of the 3 picks.
Good. Thank God we didn't have any quick takes, because we still
Man,
we still had
that was fun,
very long show. It was fun. It definitely was.
So
It's gonna be, I'm excited to kind of compare that to the actual draft to see how many we actually got right, at least the specific teams, maybe not in the exact order, but
just as long
next
as
week I guess we're just gonna do a normal show. Not sure if we're gonna have a guest, but we'll just kind of do some final draft talk about the rumors leading up to the draft. Maybe we'll do a quick Bills centered 7-round draft, where obviously it's not going to take as long to pick 7 players versus whatever we did tonight.
Yeah,
we did
hopefully we're picking 7
picks,
players.
I think something
hopefully
like
we're
that.
picking 7 and not 10.
Yeah, or no, we did like 100 something picks tonight, because I forgot round 3 is all the comp picks. Yeah, 102. Sorry. So yeah, it definitely should go a little quicker. But yeah, and then we are planning to go live at least Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, the draft, potentially Saturday, maybe definitely Saturday too, because day 3 is still very fun. But yeah, we're going to have some live shows for the draft, and Dean has already confirmed that he'll be on again for day 2, which is awesome. I can't look forward to I can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, already right now it's setting up to be the best day for the Bills anyways, draft-wise, because they have 2 round 2 picks. They may have more if they trade out of round 1. If they did what they did last year.
Yeah, let them cook.
The Bills could actually end up having like 4 picks on day 2.
That'd be awesome.
If
if
they're able to trade down from round 1, I mean, they could even move up with all the extra ammo they have. But yeah, kind of a longer show today, but we hope we entertained everyone with our draft predictions. And again, we'll see how accurate they end up being, but that should wrap up the show tonight. And as always, you can find us on all audio platforms. Follow the hosts on Twitter, and go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.